Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Casa de Neil, where I am about to fight a 100-point kill team battle between my Adeptus Mechanicus and Neil's Tyranids. So this is the first battle that we have since all of the things got shut down, so we're excited to get back at this and remember, exactly, applaud to be back and doing it. Hopefully we remember how to roll dice, so if we do get things wrong, understand it has been about 3 months since either of us has played a game, so be gentle with us in there. But we are going to be playing Data Wipe, which is one of the match play missions from the Kill Team Annual. And essentially what happens here on this game is that we will have 4 objectives on the table here. There's one over that way. And what happens here is that if you have been within 1 inch of the same objective for 2 turns, and at the end of the turn, if you've been at the same objective for 2 turns, and there's no enemies within 1 inch of that same objective that are unshaken, so shaken models don't count for any of this. But if you've been on the same objective for 2 turns and there are no enemies within 1 inch of that objective, you can remove it and you essentially wiped the data core from that objective. At the end of the game, whoever has wiped the most objectives essentially wins. So the one that is furthest away from your deployment zone, the deployment zones are the long edges here, you get 2 points for wiping that data slate, or data core, or whatever it is. And you get 1 point for any of the other ones. So the ones that's closest to your deployment zone, or the ones that are out in the middle, you get 1 point for each of those. And whoever gets the most point from wiping data cores at the end of the game wins. So the story that we've got going on here, I think I went around backwards than I usually do. 3 months will do that to you. But essentially the story that we've got going on here is that this is a Forge world that suddenly has a Tyranid invasion that has come in and is wiping through all of the workings of the Mechanicus. And the Mechanicus need to make sure that they can get the information that are on these data cores to be able to save it from the Xenos invasion. So essentially, the Tyranids will be destroying the data cores when we say they're wiping the data cores, and the Adeptus Mechanicus are going to be retrieving the information on the data cores to save it. That's what they're going to be, but both of them are going to be considered wiping the data cores, so for the manner of this mission. So that is the mission, that is the story. Before we go any further though, let's show you the 2 kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Adeptus Mechanicus, my kill team will consist of, from left to right, my leader, who is a Skitarii Ranger Alpha with a Taser Goad and a Phosphor Blast Pistol. We then have 2 Skitarii Ranger Gunners, one with a Plasma Caliver, who will be my Sniper Specialist, and one with an Arc Rifle, who will be my Scout Specialist. We then have an Infiltrator Princeps with a Taser Goad and Flechette Blaster. He will be my Combat Specialist. We have a Sicaran Infiltrator with a Power Sword and Stub Carbine, and 4 more Skitarii Rangers. And for the Tyranids, his kill team will consist of, from left to right here, the leader, who is a Lictor. We then have a Warrior with a Venom Cannon, who is his Heavy Specialist. We then have Combat Specialist, who's a Gene Stealer. We have a Termagant with a Devourer, who's his Scout Specialist, and we have 8 Hormagaunts. Just wanted to show off the cool terrain that my friend Neil here has built and painted here. Turn back the lights here so you can't see it quite as much, but it's super cool looking. Won himself a contest with that, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, so those are the kill teams that we're fighting here. Let's go over deployment. Down here, I've got my Combat Specialist, I've got my Scout Specialist, and my Leader. I have my Sniper Specialist up on top over here. I then have over here, I've got one of my regular Rangers, another Ranger up over here, another one down over here, and I have my other Infiltrator back over on this side, and another Ranger down in over there. Sitting on objectives or getting ready to move on to other objectives. Going over deployment now for the Tyranids. We've got Hormagaunt. We then have his Lictor up on top over here. Oh, no, this is the Warrior. This is the Lictor. Bugs, man, whatever. They all got pointy bits. We have the Termagant up over here. Another Hormagaunt. And we have the Gene Stealer over here. And I think on the other side, right, do we have? Yes, another Hormagaunt back there. And then 2 more down over here. So that is the deployment for both the Mechanicus and the Tyranids. We will now roll off for first turn here. I got a 7. My opponent gets a 7. So re-rolls. I get a 5. My opponent gets an 11. So he beat me with 1 die. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 1. His Hormagaunts down over here moved on to the objective. His warrior readied himself, as did his Termagant. His Lictor advanced up over this way. His Gene Stealer also advanced down over here into this building, and these Hormagaunts moved up onto the objective over here, and these Hormagaunts moved onto the objective over here. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Tyranids. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Admech. All right, so movement phase for the Adeptus Mechanicus. My scout moved over here looking on his Gene Stealer with his arc rifle. My leader over here readied himself. My sniper had to move back to get sight onto his scary Lictor up there. Then all of my Rangers readied themselves, and now we're going to have some charges with my Infiltrator. So we're going to start over here with the Princeps. He's going to charge. I'm going to declare all of them, but I might not engage all of them just to see. So he's going to be charging into them. Let's see if he makes it with this charge. With an 8-inch, he'll be in. And then my other Infiltrator over here is going to charge into these guys over here. 9-inch charge will get him in. All right, so into the shooting phase, we're going to start with the Tyranids here. His warrior is going to fire into my sniper specialist over here. He's going to spend 1 CP on more bullets because he's got the heavy specialist. So he's going to have D3 plus 1 shots. So he's going to have 3 shots total because that's 2 plus 1. These are going to be hitting on 5s though because 3 shots, right? Because it was 2, you rolled a 4. Oh. Yeah, it's all good. So it's all good. Hello, Matt. Yeah, it's been a while, don't worry. So he's going to be hitting on 5s though, because hitting on 5s because he's got a 4+ ballistic skill and a -1 because he's obscured, but he's within half range. No hits there, but he's going to spend a CP to reroll one of those dice.
I'll take the 1.
Here we go. Yeah! Into 6, so that's going to be a hit. This is strength 8, so wounding on a 2. Oof. That is a wound. I have a 6+ invul save, also it's AP -2, so I would have a 6-up armor save regardless. Show me that Phil face. Come on. You can do it, Phil face! No, the opposite of a Phil face. So, so he would be damaged. What's the damage on that?
Oh, it's ugly.
1 second. All right, so it's D3 damage. 1 damage. Okay, so that will take him down to 0, though. So now you roll 1d6 for the injury roll. On a 5 becomes a 4 because of the obscurement. He is out of action. All right, so now my ranger here is going to fire into his Hormagaunt over there, the closest one. So he's going to have 2 shots because it's rapid fire, 30-inch range rapid fire, so he's going to have 2 shots here. These are going to be hitting on 3s because he's not obscured and within half range. That's going to be 1 hit, wounding on a 3, strength 4, toughness 3. That is not a wound. All right, so now his Termagant here is going to fire into my dude bro over here. He's at long range and obscured, so he's going to be -2 to hit, so looking for 6s to hit. Getting 1 hit, strength 4, so looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP, nothing. So looking for a 4-up save. Yeah, he's good. Woo! Another guy down over here is going to shoot into the same guy that his friend did not hit, or hit but did not wound. That's going to be 2 hits with Phil faces. That feels good. But let's see if he can do the wounding on 3s. That's going to be 1 wound at AP -1, and that's going to be 1 wound at AP nothing. So we'll do the 1 wound at AP nothing first. So 6-up save. No, does not make it. So that's going to be 2 that go through. They're 1 damage apiece, but he's only got 1 wound. So let's see the injury roll here. And on a 4, he's not obscured, so he will be out. This guy down over here is going to fire into his Hormagaunt that's not engaged with him over here. This is going to be 2 shots, but he is obscured, so hitting on 4s. That is not going to be a hit there, but this one will be a hit. Looking for a 3 to wound. No wound. And then my guy over there is going to fire into the unengaged guy over here. He's going to have 2 shots hitting on 4s because of obscurement. That's going to be 1 hit. That is going to be a wound. AP nothing, so he's got a 6-up save. No, does not make it. Injury. No, he'll take a flesh wound. Now my scout over here is going to fire into his G-Steel over here. So I'm going to have 2 shots with the arc rifle because he's within rapid fire range. Hitting on 3s because he is unobscured. That's going to be 1 hit. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that. Okay, of course, into a 1. Now I'm going to be strength 6, AP -1, so looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound, AP -1, so he has a 5 up invul save. No, does not make it. It's only 1 damage though, so let's see if he is out of action. With that 4, he is. Into the fight phase now. My Princeps here is going to attack into them. He's going to put 1 attack into each of them because he's got 2 attacks base plus 1 for being a combat specialist. So he's going to put the first one. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So he's got a taser go there. So each 6 to hit is actually 3 hits. So we're going to go with the first one here. Hitting on a 3. That is a hit. Strength plus 2, so strength 6. So wounding on a 2. That is a wound with a fill face. So AP nothing.
On a 6.
A 6? No. 1 damage. So on a 6, he is out of action on that first one. Then the second one is not going to hit. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that. Different phase. That's good with a fill face. That means it's 3 hits. These are going to be wounded on 2s. That's going to be 3 6s he needs to make here.
Oh, 3 of them, 3 6s.
Yep.
Here we go. Boxcars.
Makes 1 of them, but not enough. And then, so injury roll here. On a 2, he'll take a flesh wound. And then the last guy is going to be hitting on a 3 and wounding on a 4. 6 up save.
Nope.
No. And on a 2, he'll take a flesh wound. Sorry, he has 3 attacks base. I was looking at the wrong thing. So he's going to have 1 more attack. We're going to put it into the, I don't know, even our odds. Let's see who I would have put it into. So I've got 1, 2, 3. So 1 is the guy who died. 2 is the middle guy, and 3 is that one. Which one would I put it on? On 1, so we lost it. There we go. He already died anyway. And now my my infiltrator here is going to put 2 attacks into the other guy there. So 2 attacks hitting on 3s. That's going to be 2 hits. He's got the power sword, so these are going to be wounding on 3s. And there's going to be no saves for these because it's a power sword. AP goes right through his thing. You don't have an invul there. Nope. So let's see if he is out of action or wounded. On a 4, he is out of action. Alright, so now his Hormagon here is going to attack back into me. He is flesh wounded, so he is going to be hitting on a 5. That's going to be 1 hit.
No 1, so no reroll.
Yep, no reroll. So strength 3, toughness 3, so looking for a 4 to wound. That is a wound. AP nothing.
Yep.
So I am going to be looking for a 5 is good. And now these guys are going to attack back into my Princeps. So we're going to do the first guy. He is wounded, so 5s to hit. That's how you do that. That is going to be 1 wound because it is strength 3, toughness 3. So looking for 4s. Looking for a 4 up save. With that 5, he's good. And the next guy.
Reroll.
Rerolling the 1s because he's got Silent Talons. That's not going to be a hit.
Oh.
All right, so that's going to be the end of the turn here. We do have some morale tests to take here. So his guys over here are not within synapse range of his warrior. The guy over there that was flesh wounded, he's fine because of it. But these guys do have to roll, so we're going to go first and second. They've got leadership 5, but they're -1 leadership because of my Princeps that's within 3 inches of them. So they have 4s, but there's 4 guys out of action. So essentially here, he's looking for 1. So we're the first guy. No, he is going to be shaken, and the second guy is good! All right, so that guy in the back there will be fine. The guy in the front will be shaken. So that is going to be it for turn 1 here. We will now roll off to see who will have the initiative going into turn 2. There we go. Just going to place the little shaken thing on him over there. And then we are going to roll to see who has initiative. I rolled a 7, my opponent rolled a 10, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 2. Movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 2. These guys stayed in combat. Well, one of them had to. The other guy decided to stay in combat. His Lictor advanced up over this way. He is Leviathan, right? Leviathan? No, Kraken. So he rolls the 3d6, and he's been rolling really well with that 3d6. So advanced him over here. This guy readied himself. These two guys readied themselves as well. Oh no, one of them's going to charge. One of them's going to charge. We'll get that. One of the guys ready himself. You know, he doesn't have a shooting attack. He's staying where he is on that objective. And then over here, his heavy specialist moved up over here, and then his guy down here stayed in combat. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. Oh no, we have charge. We do have charge. So this guy down over here is going to try to charge into my infiltrator over here. So he said it was a 7-inch. Yeah, 7-inch charge. I cannot shoot because I'm engaged over here, Overwatch here. So he is just going to shoot at me, or just charging at me. He needs a 7-inch charge to make it in. That is going to make it with a 9. Movement phase for the Adeptus Mechanicus here. These 4 Rangers are going to ready themselves over here. This guy has to stay in combat because he got charged. Over here, my leader and my scout both moved into position. So they have range and line of sight on his Lictor up over here. He decided to stay in combat with these 2 guys. And that is going to be it for the Adeptus Mechanicus. So we will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so starting out the shooting phase, his ready guy over here is going to fire into my guy down over here. I did roll for mechanical. The first mechanical I rolled was the re-rolling ones to hit in the shooting phase. No ones came up, so it didn't it didn't make a difference. But I rolled for this one. I got Shroud Psalm, so they are going to be -2 because of obscured, -1 because of the distance there. So it's going to be 6s to hit. No hits. All right, so now the guy down over here is just within 15 inches of the guy over on his objective over there. But he is obscured, so I'm going to be hitting on 4s, but it is rapid fire and within half range because of being rapid fire. So hitting on 4s. That's going to be 1 hit, strength 4, looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound. 6 up save. No, let's see the injury roll. With a 2, he takes a flesh wound. Then the guy up on top here is going to shoot into his guy that I just wounded over there. This is going to be, he's out of rapid fire range because he's just out with the range going up, and then he's slightly back there. So he's going to be out of rapid fire range. So he's going to have 1 shot here, hitting on a 5 because of being obscured and at more than half range. No hit there. The one guy down there can see this guy up here. So he's going to have 2 shots because of rapid fire range, hitting on 4s because of obscurement. That is going to be no hits. All right, so now his warrior here is going to fire in the regular shooting phase into my guy over here. He's going to spend 1 CP for more bullets. So he's going to have D3 plus 1 shots. That's going to be 3 shots again because that's 2 plus 1. So 3 shots. These are going to be, he's a heavy specialist, so he doesn't take the penalty for moving with heavy. So these are just going to be 5s to hit because of obscurement. That's going to be 1 hit. That's probably the one you spent the CP on. Strength 8, so wounded on 2. That is a wound. AP nothing.
-2.
Oh, -2. So it's going to be a 6 up save. Oh, it wanted the filled face, but it didn't quite get there. So D3 damage. 3 damage. So 3 dice on this injury roll. Yeah, he is way out. All right, so now my scout here is going to fire his arc rifle into the Lictor. I'm going to have 2 shots because I'm in rapid fire range. His chameleonic skin and the obscurement means he's hitting on 5s. Getting a fill face, that's 1 hit. Strength 6, so 3 to wound. That's a wound. AP -1. So what is his save? Ooh, 1 second. All right, so it's going to be a 6 up save because it's AP -1. No, does not make it, so he just takes 1 damage. And he has to make a fall check because he got hit and he's on the edge there. On a 3, he's good. And now my leader is going to use his Phosphor Blast Pistol to shoot into his Lictor up over here. He is more than half range, so he's going to be -1 to hit. But the Phosphor Blast Pistol ignores obscurement. And because it ignores obscurement, he's also going to ignore his chameleonic skin, because the chameleonic skin needs him to be obscured. So we think we got that right. You could say if you want down the bottom, but I think that's how it is. So and that's how we're going to play it. So exactly. If not, oh well. So he's going to shoot into him over here. So he's going to be hitting on a 4 though, because he is still out of half range. So hitting on a 4. That's going to hit. Wounding on a strength 5. So wounding on a 3. That is a wound with a fill face. So it's going to be AP -1. So again, looking for a 6 up save, I think. Yeah, 6 up save. No, so he takes another wound. And the fall check. Oh, no, he's fallen. He's fallen. All right, so he fell down over here, which actually brought him within an inch of my guy there. So you can be engaged with them because of falling down. He fell into combat over here. So he's down to 2 wounds. It's a 5-inch drop there, so he has to roll a d6 for every full 3 inches he falls. So on a 5+, he'll take a mortal wound. No, he's good, so he doesn't take it. So he's down to 2 wounds, though. All right, so now my guy over here, because he's within an inch now, is going to shoot him with his flechette blaster over there, because it's pistol 5, because he's engaged, so why not? So it's going to be 5 shots here, hitting on 3s. That's going to be all hits. Strength 3, though, so looking for 5s to wound. That is going to be 2 wounds. AP nothing. So just looking for 5 up saves. Ooh, no, fails them both. Gonna spend a CP on one of them. Oh, and he makes it, so he's still alive with 1 wound left. All right, so that's it for shooting phase. Into the assault phase. I spent 2 CP for decisive strike here to allow me to go first, because otherwise he was gonna get to attack me first since he has initiative. So I'm gonna put 2 attacks each into him and into the non-shaken termagant down over here. So we're going to go with that. So we're going to go into the Lictor first because that's the important one. So here we go. 2 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 3 with the Taser Goad. That's going to be 1 hit. Oh boy. Strength 4, toughness 4. Looking for a 4 to wound. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah, with that 5. That's a wound. Here we go. 5 up save. No, he does not make it.
No.
This is a big injury roll right here. Real big injury roll. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, with the 5. He's out. Woo! And then the 2 attacks into his Hormigond over here. That's going to be 1 hit there. And that's a wound.
I can save. I can't.
6 up save. Yeah, no AP on these.
Not today,
No, not today. +1 because he's already wounded. And on 5, he's out. All right, so now we're into the regular order of things since my 2 CP is done with. We're going to go over here with his Hormigont that charged in over here. So he's going to have 2 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 4s.
Yep, whooping skill 4.
Because he is not wounded. Rerolling 1s. That's 2 hits. Does not need that at all. So it's going to be 2 hits. He's going to be strength 3, toughness 3, so 4s to wound. That's going to be 2 wounds. Oh, buddy. I've got 4 up saves. And I make 1, fail 1, so I take a wound. And then he gets to choose this guy next in the regular fight phase that's in there.
-1.
-1 to hit because he is wounded, so 5s to hit.
5s.
No hits.
Hey.
Real 1s because of Silent Talons. Hey, there you go, it worked.
Make it hurt. Make it hurt.
No, it's not going to hurt. All right, so now my guy's going to attack back. He's going to split the wealth. He's going to put 1 attack into each. So we'll go into the hurt guy first. That is a hit. That is not a wound. And into the non-hurt guy. That is not a hit. All right, so that's going to be the end of the turn here. We do have a morale phase to take here. So rolling for this one guy here. Because these guys have flesh wounds, but they're within 12 inches of his warrior who has synapse there. So this guy over here does have to roll, though, to see if he is broken. He needs to roll a 1 to not break. No, he is going to be shaken, so he is going to be shaken. Yep. That makes a big deal because at the end of the turn now, we are going to be either destroying or saving data. So over here, because he is shaken, I'm the only one that's going to be counting for this one. So I have taken that objective. I've also taken this objective back over here. But this objective over here, none of us get because we're both within range there and not shaken. And my opponent gets this one over here. So the score is now 2-1 to the AdMech going into the end of the turn here. So now we are going to roll to see who has initiative going into turn 3. I rolled a 6, my opponent rolled a 4, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the AdMech here on turn 3. All right, movement phase for the Adeptus Mechanicus here. My scout advanced up over this way. He stayed in combat over here. My Princeps, my leader, moved up over this way. This guy moved up on top over here. This guy stayed in combat. And then inside over here, my 2 guys under here. This guy right here. And then this guy back over there just moved up into position, moving further into the forge here as they tried to purge the alien So that is going to be it for the movement phase for Mechanicus here on turn 3. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here. These guys stayed in combat. He readied himself up over here. This guy has to stay there because he is shaken. Now we're going to have some charges. So we're going to start over here with his warrior, who's going to charge in over here. Needs a 6-inch charge to make it in there. Ooh, does not make it. All right, my opponent's going to spend his only CP since his leader is dead to reroll that charge. And, oh, still doesn't make it. Ooh, that is rough. And now this guy down over here needs a 9-inch charge to make it in over here. Ooh, does not make it. All right, so now, starting off here, he is readied, so he is going to fire first into my guy that's down over here in the middle there. He's going to be, he is more than half range, and he is obscured, so -2 to hit, so 6s. Getting the hit.
4 versus?
4, strength 4, toughness 3, so 3 wounds? No, no wound. All right, so now my Princeps here is going to shoot into this guy with his Flechette Blaster. That is going to be 3 hits. 4s to wound, 2 wounds, 6s to save on these ones. So 2 6s. Looking for. No, neither of those. -1 because he's wounded.
So on a tree or better, I'm dead.
No, that's a 2. He takes a 2nd flesh wound. Now the guy over here is going to fire into his Hormigaunt. He is obscured, so 4s to hit. Nope.
Yeah, if I shoot you.
This guy in the middle is going to fire back into the guy who shot him, hitting on 4s because of obscurement. Wow. And then this guy is going to fire into his guy over there, obscured. There we go, 2 hits. That is 1 wound. Oh, that might be 1 second. Yeah, that 6 is AP -1, so no save for him. So that's going to be an injury roll. +1. Oh, he is out with that fill face. Woo! This guy's going to fire with his stub carbine into the unwounded guy. That's going to be 3 hits.
Oof.
That's going to be 1 wound.
Negative anything?
Negative nothing. So 6 up.
6.
No. And that 1 will be a flesh wound. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that. You know, I have a t-shirt for that.
Hurt.
All right, so into the fight phase, I'm going to split 1 attack into each of these guys over here. So we're going to do 1 attack into the left guy first. That is going to be a hit. That is a wound, AP -3, so no save there. And on that 4, he is out.
Okay, really pushed me.
And then onto this guy over here. That is going to be a hit. That is a wound. AP -3, so go straight through. And on that 6, he is out of action. And then my Princeps over here is going to attack. That's going to be 3 hits. That is going to be 3 wounds because it's strength +2 on the taser code. So that is going to be 3 6-up saves. No, he makes 1 of them.
Not enough.
But not enough. +2 to this. Yeah, on that 6, he's out. All right, so that's going to be the end of the turn. So we're now going to roll the morale phase. My opponent has more than half dead. So we're going to roll to see morale. He's got leadership 9 out there, and he's good to go. So that's the end of the turn. Everyone's within 12 of his guy there, so he's going to be fine. But here's the thing. That's the end of turn 3. This guy over here now takes this objective here and manages to get the data there, which means that my opponent cannot score any more points. I don't think that you're going to be able to kill me completely off on this one in like 1 or 2 turns maximum here. So that is actually where we are going to call it because he cannot score the points to try to get the tie. This one over here, he needed to survive to get that one down there. So, man, who knew AdMech were good in close combat? That was pretty good. I guess if the Lictor had full wounds when he got in, it would have been a different story. But just the way that worked out with the shots dropping him down to allow him to shoot him with the Flechette Blaster was pretty brutal. So, but yeah, a ton of fun. It's good to get back into gaming. Rolling dice again. Feels good. So, I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. My opponent's been Neil. And until next time, have fun.